Alright guys, it's Sig again, and I was thinking, so I was messing around with my face mask, and I drew a nuclear hazard sign on it, because I was bored, and it looked kind of neat, and I got to thinking, you know, like what could I do now, if you take Alright, so if I were to take and cut this section off of the Nightfinder, and get it all stuck to the bottom of the Strikefinder, and do some Bondo work, and mess with the slide a little bit, I'd kind of figure it'd look a little bit like a 10mm pistol. So I'm gonna try it. I mean, worst comes to worst, I've got that other Nightfinder shell, probably. If not, then I've got a pretty much minimized Nightfinder that I could actually minimize later and then get ridiculous ranges out of with a coupler and stuff. And yeah, because, you know, I was honestly considering making this like way cooler than anything else I've got anyways. I already cut the slide up a little bit so that this is going to be the moving part. This is going to pull back this way, and these are going to stay up at the front, the little pieces. So it's going to function somewhat like a 10mm pistol, because the whole top of the pistol doesn't slide back. There's only a slide assembly at the back, and then the rest of it's just a big shell over everything. So yeah, I'll do that, and then get like a CO2 cartridge to put down here. And it turns out I do have a Nightfinder shell laying around in my mom's house. Then I'll just transplant all of these internals into the other blaster, and I'll have that, and then until then I'll have a minimized Nightfinder. So I figure that'll be pretty cool. It's 11:44. Hopefully my dad doesn't come and make me stop halfway through it, because I will forget what I was doing. That's bad. You never want to forget what you're doing with this kind of thing, ever. Yeah, but honestly, I think this is one of the very few Nightfinders that I would actually be okay with minimizing, because of the way the top looks. It's going to look like a ray gun, which is actually kind of what I was going for. So that'll be cool. I'll have a little ray gun, pew pew. And then I will put the ammo holders up here, and it'll be like pew 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 pew. So yeah, I'll have that, and then I'll have that light inside of the Nightfinder to tool around with. You know, just I'll take out all of the thingies for it. Yep. So the screws are already all out of this here Nightfinder. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna take all the electronics outside of it. I'm just gonna rip them out, and everything else I'm just gonna, you know, leave it be for the most part, because the shell does need to have some kind of support in it, so that it doesn't just get ripped to shreds by the hacksaw more than anything. So yeah. And I'm thinking I'll be able to keep the front of it because I've got the CD case over here. And I'll be able to cut that up and then attach. Come on. There we go. Over here. Alright, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting one of the... Yeah, so I'm just going to have to rip that out. Got wire cutters. that I've been using for other things, so I don't see why I wouldn't use them for this. There's no battery source, never mess with anything that's actually hooked up to a power source that's electronical. I do have a file sitting over here, so that's going to be quite helpful. Alright. So we got our wires out. Huh. Okay, well it looks like our wires are pretty messed up anyways, so we're just going to come right there, because that's a point where it'd be easier to splice them back together than anywhere else. And we're going to take the light assembly out. So, gonna get all this crap out of here. Alright. We have the light assembly right there. I'll go get a plastic bag in a little bit. And I'll do that after I get all these other small electronic pieces out. Alright, pop that out. Neat. Alright, cool. Now we got the battery plate too. So we'll be able to just splice all that back together at some point. Okay. I'll get a plastic bag for that later, but for the meantime, I'm just gonna put it over here and put all the little components inside of a roll of E-tape. Wires, screws, everything. Alright, and now we have a knife finder light to put in something. What's going to come off is just from here back. Might not go all the way to the black line because I do have like to have a little bit of room to work with stuff. Actually. Yeah, I'm going to go back pretty far. I was thinking, because I was looking on the inside of the shell, and there's a little indentation here. I was thinking that would look pretty cool, like a Mauser or something like that. But that's for the other shell, maybe. So, I love how I'm like nodding my head and looking at the camera all odd. I am such a weirdo. Alright, so this is our shell. I'm just going to screw that back together as much as we need to, which is very minimal. If I can remember where I put all those screws for it. I love this song. Daft Punk is awesome. Don't ever let anybody ever tell you different. Okay, there it is. We're sitting under the slide of the Strikefinder for no reason. Okay. Stuff in. When I'm done with this, I will make another video of me dissecting it and putting them together to form a 10mm Pistolenstein. Yes, that was a Frankenstein reference. Might have flew over somebody's head. Happened earlier today when I was making Frankenstein reference to my MP3 player. My mom was like, "What?" I was like, "You know, like Frankenstein?" She's like, "Oh, okay." Alright. So basically when you're cutting something, you just need to have screws supporting everything around it and the entire body of what you're cutting. Alright. So as far as it goes for me, I can get this screwed in real quick. Alright, that means here, here, and here. I'm going to be cutting off as much of this as I can manage. Alright, so that's what's going on. I need to get screws in there, and I'll do that in the next, before the next video, which is when I'll just be cutting everything. And I'll get working on that. I think the Bondo on the Thunder is dry, because I didn't actually apply a glob of it like I did on the Strikefinder, or the Strikefinder. Actually, that's kind of what it's going to be, the Strikefire, because I put a big scratch in it when I was cutting the slide, because I cut it on it because I needed a reference to keep it straight. And I know it's cut like that, like angled, but that was intentional. So, show the face. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll be working on that now. Alright, see you guys later.